Let's check in with Spider-Man No Way Home. Box office is still moving for this movie, slowing down a little bit, but I mean, it's been out for a couple of weeks now. This is kind of to be expected after so long in the theaters. I don't know if it's going to hit $2 billion, but either way, what an impressive box office. And the great thing about it is it slays so many excuses that a lot of these garbage movies have, like when it didn't do good because of the coof. Well, no, people will go see a movie if it appeals to them. Spider-Man No Way Home has slayed the coof excuse when it comes to a movie, because if it's good enough, people will go see it. And there were a couple movies that did good. Most of them all Sony movies, which is funny. People are complaining about that. The Spider-Man salt has finally begun. I've been waiting for it. It seems like they waited until after Christmas. I got a couple things I want to go over. This one from Rap Pro. Sony struck box office gold with Spider-Man in 2021, but not much else. So this is just a bunch of salt saying, okay, well, they might have made a bunch of money with Venom, Bond, Spider-Man, Ghostbusters, but what about these movies? What about Escape Room? What about Don't Breathe and Resident Evil? Well, first off, Resident Evil was shit, looked like shit. Nobody liked it. It was a garbage movie. It was cheap. I actually think that movie might have made a profit because it cost them like $20 to make it. So, who knows? Don't Breathe. I mean, that didn't look interesting to me, so I didn't go see it. I didn't see the first one. Why would I go see the second? Sequels to Escape Room. I didn't see the first Escape Room, so why would I go see this one? None of that was interesting enough to me to make me go to the theaters, which I don't really like to do that often. I like going for something that I really want to see if I'm bored, but none of these movies screamed, hey, get off your ass and go to the movies, especially when most modern entertainment is shit. Like, I'm really selective now. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, they're pointing out here. So, they had some bombs, but I would say the good thing about movies like Spider-Man, and this is a good reason for these movies to exist, is, for one, when they make this much money, it pays for these flops. So studios will still kind of experiment and try new things and put something out there, because when you have big blockbusters like Spider-Man raking in money, you can take a few lumps. And the same goes with theaters. That's why they call them tentpoles, because Spider-Man No Way Home will hold up the theater while a bunch of smaller movies don't really make that much money. It's like a win-win for everybody. But of course, the real problem now is what this success means for Hollywood. Like, Hollywood's never seen gigantic movies anymore. Now, the Atlantic's point here is that smaller movies are going to get left behind. Now, what they don't say here is that they're worried that people aren't going to go watch woke movies now, because, well, this might set the standard. So let me read you a little bit of this. This is what really stuck out to me. So the first part of this article is them talking about No Way Home and how its success and other successes like Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and Ghostbusters Afterlife did so well. But what about these movies, though? What about Hollywood's worry for this year lies with smaller budget films, comedies, dramas, indies, and basically everything that's not geared primarily towards 25 to 45-year-old white men living in cities, the demographic that appears most willing to return to cinemas, according to an industry study. First off, why is Spider-Man geared only towards white people? Spider-Man's geared towards everybody. Everybody loves Spider-Man, regardless of their background. None of that really matters for this movie. Number two, this movie had a pretty diverse cast, if you think about it. So, so movies like this doing good are now bad for the industry because, well, apparently now people might be less willing to go see a woke movie, and it could get left behind and forgotten about in the shadow of a movie like Spider-Man. Maybe people just don't want to go see garbage. Just a thought. Smaller and indie movies. I mean, indie movies are indie for a reason. Like, they're not going to appeal to everybody. They're smaller movies. They don't have the budget. They depend on word of mouth and a little bit of marketing money and advertising from, a channel like mine or somebody to prop it up and give it some free advertising. Like, that's what a smaller movie needs. This is why, like, you get like cult classics. Like, I don't think The Big Lebowski did good in the theaters. That movie had to do well over time. Like, people talked about it and became a cult hit. That's the best thing for movies like that. I could be wrong if that movie didn't do well. I'm not 100% sure. But Spider-Man, it's a movie for everybody, not just for white people, like this person is saying here. Listen, if you want everybody to go see a movie, gear it for everybody, not a small little niche of people. That's the problem with a lot of this thought. Make it welcoming for everybody. So, I mean, what movies aren't going to do good? I can tell you one right here that I've talked about multiple times. I can't wait for this disaster. It's going to be so much fun to talk about and make fun of. This new DCU. And that could still happen with Marvel's movies too, by the way. Marvel's movies could still go off the rails because don't forget that this Spider-Man movie was made by Sony. Marvel had a hand in it, but it was mostly Sony that put this together. Sony's got a heavy hand in all of these Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. This one, I would say more so than the others, but, Marvel itself is going down the same path as the DCU. So, we'll see what happens for the rest of the Marvel movies, but I'm not predicting a good future for that brand. Spider-Man brand's doing strong, and the great thing about his movies is he doesn't even need Marvel. He could do it all himself because he was always a solo character anyway. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.